of us. So, all right. I always want to take a moment to thank the National RIA, thank our sponsors, our corporate members, thank all of our amazing, generous speakers such as Meryl. Thank you, Anish, for helping us put this all on. And thank you everyone in this webinar, because we wouldn't be able to have these webinars if you guys weren't here. So thank you guys so much.
Awesome, Alexa. Thank you so much for that little quick introduction. I do see some new names on here. So I am the president and CEO of BPM RIA. As Alexa mentioned, Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade. We're super excited on our webinar today. And so let's talk about the main event, Mr. Merrill Chandler. So one of the cool things is I got to meet Merrill, I want to say it's 5 years ago. When you get older, the years all feel the same, but right. I feel like I've known him for a lifetime. And I actually got to see him first speak on the National RIA Cruise. And holy crap, that's probably the nicest way I could say that, was, I like credit, right? And I'm not talking about street credit. We're talking about credit, right? For your business. And what I thought I knew was, I realized I knew nothing. And in those 90 minutes, it was like a super wow factor. And the cool thing was, there's probably maybe another 15, 20 other real estate owners, RIA owners like myself. And as soon as he was done, it was almost like one of I was going to say the Beatles, but that's going to be past my age. I'm going to say it's like Justin Bieber hanging out there, and everyone's running towards him. And they're like, hey, how do I get you to, come to our RIA? And so luckily we've had him a couple times over the years, but he's constantly updating his stuff. So this is some of the cool stuff. So you might have seen him before. So go ahead and put in chat if you actually have seen, Merrill live.
I'd love to know that. Who has seen me before? I've seen one of my presentations before. We have one book enthusiast. So so we already have that, but type it out, you guys, in the chat if you've ever seen one.
Hey, Meryl, that's on a relative, is it? I don't know if you just.
I don't think I didn't plant him there.
On that end, so like the cool thing is, right, and as we're seeing the economic world change a little bit, and the big issue is having money for deals, and and how many people want to have personal liability versus business credit. And without a doubt, Merrill is probably, I don't know, the forefront in this industry. And I'll let him talk about himself, about his background and what he's done. But I am super excited. And the cool thing is, he literally just, before you guys all came on, he literally got off a plane, hopped to, in Tampa, rushed to his hotel to make sure he was on time and be here with us.
Here we are.
I really appreciate
the background.
On that end of it. So I hope you guys are ready to ask some questions, some house rules, guys. Q&A, put it in the Q&A, not in the chat. The chat moves way too fast for us. We don't want to miss any questions. As he's going through his presentation, he might answer a lot of your questions already. So make sure, we give a nice, round of applause. Make sure that we, put in the chat. Let Merrill know that how excited we are to have him. Give him a little South Florida love. It could be in Spanish, English, Creole, you name it. And I'll leave the floor to you, Mr. Chandler. The show is yours.
Thank you so much. So Anish is spot on. It was 5-6 years ago. We were on the RIA cruise, right? The association cruise. And which is a great organization, provides so many benefits to the members of the members of the RIA, and it was just, I don't know, love at first sight, magnetic, just magnetic. We're both on the same path, beating the same drum, empowering real estate investors to make things happen, not just hear good news and then go to bed or buy a product and put it up on the shelf. I'll do that someday, right? It's about implementing. And so what we're going to be talking about today, guys, is if you have a 10-second car, awesome. But unless you have fuel in that car and unless you have some nitrous, you're not going to win any races. And that's what we're talking about, the fuel and the nitrous, which is money. The cheaper the money, the faster you can get the money, the greater your opportunity. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to make sure, can you guys see my Get Fundable logo there?
We got you.
And let's go here. All right, you guys see that blue suede mug? How to recession-proof your business and your credit without giving away all your profits, right? Everybody can see that? All right, here we go. First and foremost, thank you again, Anish, and of course, Alexa. Alexa's always just making it easy and effortless for us to be able to come and share this with you and take the opportunity to spend this time together. Now, if you have ever been frustrated because you haven't been able to access the lowest cost money on the planet to do more deals, then you are in the right place, right? The three big challenges you face as a real estate investor is that lack of capital or super expensive alternative lending. And many times you've found, and I'm going to have you guys talk in the chat. I'm going to be asking questions. I'd love for you to give me answers in the chat, but how many of you have actually been denied in a bank because you were a real estate investor? Just type a yes in there, if or an exclamation point or thumbs up if you've ever been denied because you were a real estate investor, right? Catherine says yes, and Phil, Trow, and Ed, and wow, okay, yeah. Lots of us have been denied because we're real estate investors. Well, one of the reason is that this includes, these stats that I'm going to review right now include real estate investors, right? 20% of small businesses fail in the first year and 50% by the fifth year, according to the SBA, the Small Business Administration. The fascinating thing about this is that, and this is the number that kills all of us, 82% of the businesses that fail because of lack of capital. They don't have the money that they need to create the operating expenses or the reinvestment of your funds in order to keep moving forward, right? And so to avoid becoming a statistic and to tip the odds in your favor, you're here tonight getting educated. You're finding mentors like Anish, like me, who have a proven track record of success to guide you in not just real estate investing, but the funding path that leads you to more and better profitable deals. And I applaud you that. I'm glad that you're here tonight. So it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur that's struggling to keep your head above water, or you're just barely making ends meet. Now, maybe you're even a real estate investor that is thriving. I know one thing that we all have in common, that's this. If you had access to more money, you could grow your business the way you want to and be able to do it faster and easier. So there is an untapped resource of money available out there, a pool of money that is the largest and most inexpensive set of money and capital instruments that most real estate investors have no idea how to access. I'm talking about top tier bank business loans and business lines of credit. Now, besides a 30-year fixed mortgage, is the cheapest money out there. So the question is, how do you get access to this huge source of low-cost money? Especially since we've got all these beliefs about what it takes to get that money, right? Well, first thing we need to know is not your credit score. Most of us believe, and there's two groups, people who have not so high credit scores, low 700s, 600s, or low 700s. I'm not going to even try because I don't have a high enough credit score. But for you folks, the people who have 820s and 850s, that you guys can't get 800, you can't get access to business loans and lines of credit because it's not about your score, right? people with 800 plus credit scores every day are being denied business funding. And they're being denied because credit scores don't mean anything without the right data behind them. Now, if you're taking notes, write that down, because we're coming back to that here a little bit later this evening. Your scores are meaningless without the right data behind them, all right? And you might even know somebody who has good credit and applied for a loan thinking they're gonna get it, and they got denied, but don't know why, right? For some of you, unfortunately, that someone is you. So that person, when they get their denial letter, they're eventually told some generic reason for the denial, but the reality is they get denied because your credit score without the right data is useless when it comes to business funding. The right data gets you approved. Concentrating on your score gets you denied. So really quickly, I want to introduce you to a word that may be new for many of you. And there we go. Anish is saying 830 credit score, got denied until he started building his credit. It was shocking. He even had liquid assets. So what we're looking for here is, in every way, we want, hang on just a second. I'm going to stop sharing because my, hang on. I'm not advancing through. Hang on.
Yeah, well, Meryl fixes that, but it is true. It was, I applied, great credit score, and got nada.
Yeah. And the point of it all is that, hang on, I do not know why this is happening, but let's get rid of it really quickly.
Don't worry, Meryl, this happens to me all the time. And
Right.
because I'm Indian, they think I'm a techie. So I always have to let them know I'm a real estate investor, just
Right.
because of my background. Alexa actually fixes everything. So when we actually do the in-person presentations,
I'm like, all right, Alexa, where's your magic? Well, I'm on a second monitor over here that's supposed to be sharing, but it's stuck back on the credit denial. So let me hang on just a second. And
yeah, no worries. If
there we go.
the other questions, does on a side note, does Sky have access to your, she could share her screen if that helps.
Yeah, it's not until I free this puppy up. So let's get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, so while you know, Merrill's kind of working on this. So one of the things that when he first came down, he did a credit profile through my credit report. And I don't want to steal some of your thunder, but I was shocked to see things on my credit report. And I'm not talking about accounts that weren't mine, but things that would affect my fundability.
Affect your fundability, right?
Yeah. So address changes. Like my wife's social was attached to my stuff. Just weird stuff that I was like, oh my gosh, like, how can this be?
All right. So I think I got it. I'm sharing my screen again. We're going to, there we go. I'm going to share my screen.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, we don't see your screen now. Oh, there we go. It's popping up. It's popping up.
All right. And then I'm going to pull this all the way down. And now we're back to this one all the way down. There we go. How's that?
Nope, not yet. Oh yeah, there we go.
That?
Yep, now it's perfect.
All right, so I'm going to try and move everybody. See, normally I have 4 monitors when I'm at my workstation. Here I've got my little tiny monitor at home.
What do you mean you don't pack your 4 monitors and TVs? I see your massive monitors, so
I know it's weird, right? How do I get rid of Sky? Can you tell me how to get rid of these things over on the side, my thumbnails? Sorry, guys.
That's okay. It's all good.
I'm a genius at Fundability, not Zoom.
Yeah, and I know Sky's your fixer, so same thing as my Alexa.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what you're referring to, Meryl, but
There we go.
you looked
That's what,
good just now.
that's what I wanted. I just wanted to get that thing out of the way. There we go. Okay. So we're going to get back started, guys. Thank you for indulging me. We're going to continue here and play this game right here. And we're going to minimize. You know, they won't let you put that thing anywhere, will it? All right, I'm going to put it at the bottom. All right. So let's get this party started. Now, what we're talking about is fundability, right? We're talking about what it takes to become fundable. Credit scores don't matter. The ability to get funding, that's what fundability is all about. And the only way to make sure that you are fundable is by doing the right things. Just like Anish was saying, that we can look at your credit profile, we can look at your business profile, and immediately see why you are not fundable, right? And sometimes it's glaring. So there are hundreds of thousands of dollars available to you in business funding that you can solve the problems of your capital problems, and more importantly, do more deals to grow your business. But you have to know the keys. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. This training is about showing you how to stop stepping on the funding landmines that are going to kill your fundability, right? We're going to have you stop chasing money, and that embarrassment and anxiety of applying and not knowing. What would it mean to you to know before you apply that you're going to get approved? Before you apply, you already know. We'll be covering that here in a moment, of how to know that exact thing, right? We want you to see through the lies of the credit system. I'm going to be showing you some things tonight that are going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, why didn't I know this years ago? Or how is it that people can lie to my face and not tell me the truth? Right? Because when you know the truth of how to get the best fund, the best rates and the highest approvals, you're able to grow your business. So that's what tonight is all about, right? If any of these things apply to you, welcome. We are in this together. So over the last 25 years, I have learned that most real estate investors believe these 5 things. First of all, you don't know why your business isn't fundable. You just know that you're not getting the approvals that you want, right? At the rates you want, from the banks you want. Many of you, how many of you have huge long-term relationships? You're putting tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year through a bank, and they don't give you a credit card, much less a credit line or a business loan, right? Most of us do not know what the lender priorities are. So we don't know how to behave. We don't know what our credit profile needs to be in order to get approved. And the biggest thing is that the vast majority of human beings in this country, much less real estate investors, believe you need full documentation to get approved for these $50,000 and $100,000 credit lines. And so the only thing that's left to you is you're stuck using what I call soul-crushing alternative, excuse me, soul-crushing alternative lenders. I can't even say it without coughing. So most of us do not believe you have control over your approvals. And I'm going to tell you before the night's over, I'm going to show you exactly how you have 100% control over your approvals. And that's a big statement for me to say, but you guys, it's crazy. You have exact control, and you don't have to apply until you're ready and you know when to be approved. Would that be okay with you guys? If we did that tonight, would that be all right? Okay. So the other thing is most of us have been lied to about how business credit works, and we get manipulated into spending money to build business credit that still doesn't get us the credit lines and the loans that we want, right? So I've got 3 secrets for you tonight that we're going to be talking about. You ready? There are secret number 1, just like it says on the screen. There are business credit imposters. These business credit imposters make credit offers to you that will actually ruin your personal credit without you knowing about it. All right, so let's take a deeper dive. You guys know what catfishing is? It's using an online identity that's created for the purpose of deceiving or starting a deceptive relationship. So we call it catfish credit, which is credit offers designed to manipulate you into seeking business credit and beginning a credit relationship based on deceptive or false premises. Okay, that's what we call catfish credit. So right there at the top, Spark, Capital One Spark cards, catfish credit. There are these lenders you see on this page. I'm a truth teller, you guys. These are business credit posers. They're imposters, because if you get a Capital One Spark card, it reports monthly balances to your personal credit report. So you're being a good businessman or businesswoman, you get a Spark card or a Discover It card or the other Discover instruments, and you're thinking, all right, I'm going to carry some balances because I'm doing a flip. Or you're investing in capital expenditures or whatever it is you're doing to grow your business. So you charge them up and you hold them. But what happens? And I won't even have you raise your hand on this one. What happens? Your credit, your utilization goes up, your credit score and your fundability go down by using those cards. How do they get away with it? It's not right, you guys. But they're posing as business credit cards. And so because we don't know until now, we don't know the difference, then you end up ruining your personal credit, because now you're keeping a balance 2, 3, 5, 6 months of a balance on these cards, and it's crushing the soul of your personal credit profile. And your personal credit profile, we will learn shortly, is the key to your business fundability. Now, you'll see Elon Financial there. See that PayPal business loan? About 18 months ago, PayPal, we used to refer our students and our clients to PayPal business loans all the time. They were great because they didn't report to your personal profile, right? And then they sold their book of business to Elon Financial. What does Elon do? They're notorious. Stay away from Elon Financial or anything that's underwritten by Elon Financial, because Elon bought PayPal's book of business and then reported every single one of those business loans onto personal credit profiles. It crushed hundreds of thousands of borrowers and ruined their DTIs, because all of a sudden a business loan was now showing up on a personal profile. Horrible. Synchrony Bank is known for the exact same thing, Web Bank and others. So catfish credit, you guys, can be actual lenders in the marketplace. The next kind of catfish credit are known as credit card stackers. Credit card stackers are the folks where, look at the language, fund your startup or small business, 0% interest for the first 12 months. That sounds encouraging. That sounds awesome. Until you find out that what they're going to do is get you a bunch of personal credit cards and business credit poser cards that all report to your personal profile. And now you get the same hit as the others. The other one, maybe some of you have even heard of seed capital. Anybody hear of seed capital? Right? So seed capital, look what they're saying. It's crazy, even what they say in your what they're saying is we've fueled growth for over 20,000 startups. That sounds cool, right? So we think of credit lines and business loans like from banks. That's where we go because that's what we believe. And then what happens? Nope. This was so notorious. It was so messed up that the FTC shut down Seed Capital and fined them $3 million for deceiving the people because they thought they were getting business credit when they were actually getting personal credit cards they could use for their business. Guys, that's crazy. That's not okay, right? And so everything that we do here, you guys, everything that we do here is to create the opportunity to, so what you want to watch for is if you're going to ask, and I'm going to tell you a secret. This secret is going to change your, this is going to change your financial life and is going to literally make it easier for you to be fundable for the rest of your life. And that is, do these credit accounts report monthly to my personal credit? If their answer is yes, then you run, get out of there because you are headed for danger. No joke, guys, you're headed for danger. And we don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize our fundability, right? So those are the things that we want to be able to, wow. It's just really bad, isn't it? Okay, so I guess that's stuck at up at the top, guys. So what we want to do is we want to stay away, and here's the secret. Do not consider anything a lender offers you or says to you until you hear it a minimum of 3 times from 3 different people. It is not true until it is 3 times somebody says the same answer. So if somebody comes back here and says, when you ask, does this credit card report monthly to my personal credit profile? If they say no, boom, you call again. Somebody might say yes, and you call and call and call until you get 3 different people to give you the same answer. Is everybody with me? Is everybody with me? Because the rank and file people on all of these that work for all the banks are reading scripts. They do not know jack about the credit instruments that they're selling. Do you understand that? They don't know anything. So you got to get people who know, and that's how we protect ourselves. So watch out. Do not, if it reports to your personal profile, it is not business credit. I'd love to have you, you know how back when we were back in school, type that 3 times. If it reports to your personal profile, it is not business credit. You guys live by that. Now, the third kind is what are called business credit builders. Business credit builders are groups that say, hey, pay me money and I will build your business credit. That is not real business credit. When we talk business credit, we're talking business bank credit cards that don't report to your personal profile, business bank credit lines to the tune of $20, $30, $50, $100,000, business bank loans. So notice, I know Ty Crandall of Credit Suite, okay? The advertising says how to build credit for your EIN that's not linked to your SSN, your social security number. And we're like, I don't want to personally guarantee my credit. Well, guess what? Since 2008, there is not one single bank in the United States that gives unsecured credit without your personal guarantee since 2008. And yet people sell this left and right that you can get business credit. But what type of credit are they looking for? Straight off their brochure. look at step number 2, apply for vendor credit. Do you want supplies, Uline? Apply for retail credit, Staples or IKEA. You're not going to build a real estate empire, you guys, on retail credit. Not one of these programs. Here's another. Not one of eCredible, NAV, Dun & Bradstreet. Not one of these will ever get you to getting a business line of credit from a bank. Not one. Never has happened, never will happen. And it will not let you do it without using personal guarantees, using your social security number. It's just 2008. That means it's 14 years, you guys. 14 years. 14 years. And people are still selling the old stuff. Are you guys following me? I mean, and look how bad it has gotten. Nothing against these people. Nothing against these people. I hope they learn the truth someday. But notice on the bottom, on the left-hand side, another rising star on the business credit card world is the Capital One Spark Card. Look at how many views in the bottom left, you guys. Over 100,000 views of people being told that is is business credit, right? If it reports to your personal profile, it's what? Not business credit. All right. And then take a look at the top right. How to boost your business credit score. Establish trade lines with your suppliers. Well, what most people don't know is that your business credit score is not vital to your approvals. Just like your personal credit score is not what they base it on. They base it on the data. Same with your business. But since you don't know, they're going to take advantage of you. They're taking advantage of you. And this gentleman has over 22,000 views saying establish trade lines, right? Then look at the next one. The next one says, and this is Ty again, score-based business line of credit with no personal guarantee. Business credit 2021, 11,000 views. Look at that. Score-based business line of credit. You know what those really are? That might be that could be a cabbage loan. It could be a credit line from a vendor or a retail account. Here's what we have to understand. Do you think for a second that eCredible, who's trying to build your business credit, do you think that Chase is going to give you a $50,000 business line of credit based on any one of those accounts in that your power bill or your water reputation or your cable TV reputation? Do you think Chase is going to give you a business line of credit, a real live line of credit that you can write a check and do a deal? You think they're going to do it on your water bill reputation? Do you think NAV and do you think that NAV, that notice down there that it's Uline account, Quill account. Let me go back up there. Uline account, Quill account, Granger account, Global Industrial. Now, I'm not dissing those businesses if you need cleaning supplies, but I think you and I are after $100,000 business lines of credit and maybe multiples of them, correct? This is crazy what we have been led to believe. And it's not your fault because nobody told us the truth until now. Now, after tonight, it's your fault. If you go for this stuff after tonight, it's on you and the destruction that it does to your personal profile. But now you know, and I'm here to help you navigate. That's why we call this a minefield. These minefields are all about the misunderstandings about business credit. Okay, so if anybody mentions the phrase, and I'm telling you, if somebody mentions the phrase build your business credit, get the hell out of there, because they're telling you something that isn't true. Do you have to build? Do you have to intentionally build your personal credit profile? No, creditors report on their own. What you have to do is choose the right credit to get reported. Same for business. I don't want a Granger or a Uline account on my credit profile. I want a Chase $50,000 or $100,000 business line of credit so I can then use that reputation to go get a Wells Fargo $100,000 line of credit. Tell me you guys understand what I'm talking about. Are you getting are you getting this? So, absolutely, William. Absolutely. You guys, we've got to understand the truth. Understand the truth. All right. Woo! How was that for the first secret of 3? How we doing? We doing good? All right. Secret number 2. The actual name of your business can wipe away the opportunity of getting funded 100% behind your back. Government agencies are likely to classify your company as unfundable and you don't even know about it. Let's take a look at that. First of all, take a screenshot of this, you guys. These are approval killing red flag words. If any one of these words are in your business name or in the description of your business, in the articles of organization, you're done. You are automatically unfundable. Why? How does that work? Well, let's take a look at it. The federal government has mandated that all states, all Secretary of State offices see which parts of the economy are growing and shrinking every month. The way they do that is there are business codes that go with every type of business in our economy. So when you walk in there, you're all proud as a real estate investor and you're like, real estate property resources, right? Real estate property resources. And then you fill out the application like, I'm a real estate investor, or I do real estate investing, I do fix and flipping. So the Secretary of State looks at that and goes, oh, I do real estate, they're real estate investors. And they go over and they assign the business code for real estate investing. Well, guess what? That is automatically not fundable. That is a prohibited industry to lend to by lenders. Why? Because over the last 40 years, the track record of certain industries that fail, they tend to fail. And one of them is real estate investing. You guys know as well as I do, how many people have you known, you've been doing it for years and people have come and gone, come and gone, come and gone. Well, the whole reason why Anish and what he's doing with you guys is so vital is you need to become a professional real estate investor, right? I'm just giving you the fuel for the fire. He's teaching you how to build it, build the fire. So there are industries that lenders have learned have a higher failure rate, and they don't lend to them anymore. The interesting thing is that business credit reporters, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and business credit from Equifax, all of those pick up the same business codes from the Secretary of State, and then they broadcast those business codes on your business credit reports. So without you even knowing it, you have been ratting yourself out this entire time. And that reason alone is why many of you are not fundable. Just straight up, all by itself. Okay? Make sure your questions go in the Q&A, guys. So that's gnarly, right? That is no fun whatsoever. So secret number 3, this is the big one. This is where this is the big reveal. You've been lied to about what gets you real business credit. You've been told that business credit scores get you approved. Not true. Business credit scores do not get you approved for business lines of credit, business credit cards, and business loans from banks that do not report to your personal profile. Your credit scores, because business credit scores, I won't even get into the details. That it's the fox in the hen house. on the personal side, you realize it's illegal for Equifax to grade its own data. So they open up a different company and then download the data and grade it. But guess what? Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score grades its own data. That wouldn't pass muster in the personal credits realm, but nobody's stopping on the business side. Equifax and Experian grade their own data. It's the wild, wild west. And you've been told and lied to that it is a business credit. You need a Paydex score. You need a business credit score to get credit. It is not true. It has not been true since 2008. So where did I get my intel? I'd like you to meet David Smith. David Smith is he's in the work group for originations at FICO. Originations means where they take applications and approve for business funding. He's in the FICO work group for that. He told me 80% of every funding approval decision in small business banking is based on the personal profile of the business owner. The personal profile of the business owner. So it's not your personal, it's not your business credit score, and it's not your business credit score, and it's not your personal credit score. It is, we have to optimize the actual contents of the profile, not the score. The profile for business credit approvals. Tell me, raise your hand. Tell me you guys are getting this. Tell me you guys are getting this. Are you picking up what I'm laying down here? Well, it's you and me, Alexa. So thank you. So the point of this is that if it's not business credit score, you don't need to build your business credit. You don't need to build your personal credit score. It is something else. So what is it then, right? Why does it work the way it does? Well, the big reveal is that your personal borrower profile is the goose that lays the golden eggs of business credit cards, unsecured business loans, trophy business lines of credit, commercial loans, even FICO-driven hard money loans. The quality of your profile. So what do I mean by that? Well, what's called SBSS is called a Small Business Scoring Service, blends DNB data. Does it say DNB score there? No, this is straight off the FICO website. Dun & Bradstreet data, not score, data combined with Consumer Bureau data creates the Small Business Scoring Service. And it's designed to automatically drive portfolio management activities such as automating line increases. So let's break that down. How many of you, I'd like you to raise your hands, how many of you in the last, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years have filed an application, a credit application, a credit card application online, and you were approved or denied in 30 to 60 seconds? Anybody? The 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6, yeah, absolutely. A bunch of us, you guys. No human being looked at that, looked at your profile. So that means they're looking at something else. They're not looking at your score. They're looking at the profile. But what are they looking at? So further question, how many of you, even those of you who just raised your hand, how many of you have gotten an email or a letter from your bank, or even woke up one morning, went into your bank account and saw that your credit limit was higher? No inquiry, no income verification, no tax returns, no nothing. They just gave you more money. Look at all of us. Look at all of us. The hell is going on? Free money, no inquiry, no, it's unsecured, no inquiry, no income verification, no tax returns, no financials, no nothing. Because they're measuring your borrower behaviors. And that's the thing we got to understand. They are tracking 40 borrower behaviors, you guys. And so what happens is, remember I said I was going to give you kind of the key to the personal and business credit universe. Here it is. For over 500 years, we needed to prove that we could repay a debt by giving a bunch of documentation, tax returns, financials, proof of income, proof of residency, all those things, right? We call it full doc or manual underwriting. Take your pick. But over the last 10 years, and I've been working with FICO for 6 of them. Over the last 10 years, FICO and lenders have been developing software that does exactly what we just talked about, that gives you an approval or a denial, reviews your profile, and gives you approval or denial within 30 to 60 seconds. That's called automatic underwriting or automatic approvals. Now, how does that work? We go from manual underwriting over here. And by the way, lenders hate manual underwriting more than you do. Straight up hate it because it's costly. It takes human beings and the biases that come with those human beings is not profitable for banks. So automatic underwriting, if you're a person of color, for generations, there's been bias against you because you had to sit in front of somebody that may not even look like you for a business or a credit approval. Automatic underwriting takes all of that out, completely removes it, and you're just a set of data. Everybody is just a set of data, way more profitable on a number of fronts for the banks. So think of it this way. Lenders know what the criteria is, a bunch of check boxes. Do you have this? What is this? What's your debt to income ratio? Any late pays, just a checklist of 40 borrower behaviors. They put all of that into code in the software. So interestingly enough, when they review your profile, they look at you and can tell you whether you're fundable or not just from that quick 30-second review. Now, I made a bold promise that I would share with you, that I would tell you how you could be in charge of your own borrower behaviors. And you could therefore be in charge of your own approvals. So if you know what the software is measuring, and you know what to do to match what the software is measuring, who is in charge of your approvals, guys? Type it out there. Who's in charge of the approval? If you know what they're looking for and you have a list of what they're looking for and you do it, who's in charge? Type it out there. I want to see it. Exactly. Exactly. You are in charge of the approval because they put it out there. You matched it. Do they not want to lend money to you if you match their underwriting criteria? Of course they want to lend to you. That's why it happens in 30 seconds. So is it okay if, give me a yes or no. Is it okay if I over deliver? Because I don't have a slide on this. Is it okay if I over deliver? Because I'd like to get you something. There we go. All right. Very good. Done. And go ahead and put this in the chat, Sky. But I'm not only going to give you the 40 borrower behaviors that FICO uses. What if I give you all 150 borrower behaviors that every lender in the United States draws their underwriting guidelines from? Would that be okay? Would that be all right if I give you not just the 40 FICO uses, but the pool from which they draw every single underwriting criteria in the country? Go to getfundablebehaviors.com. Getfundablebehaviors.com. Just tell us where to send the email. You guys, you are in charge of your approvals. You just didn't know it until this moment. So how do those approvals work for business credit? Well, let's take a look at what a real business credit check looks like. All right. First, you have your personal credit profile and score from FICO. This is personal. Then that SPSS software, a real business credit check, pings Dun & Bradstreet, pings their data, not their score. Pings their data and sees if the owner of the personal credit profile is actually the owner by name, address. All the data points sync up that you're the owner of the business. And if they check Dun & Bradstreet, it's like, check. And then, so then they check Experian, check. Then they check Equifax. And if they ping all the data that you are the owner of this business, and all of the business codes are fundable, and the business addresses are appropriate, and the names of the name of the owner syncs up with what's on your personal credit profile, boom, you get approved. They're not and never have looked at your business credit scores, you guys. It doesn't happen. That's all BS. It's all BS. Anybody telling you got to build your business credit score, it's not true. Woo! How we doing? Have you guys, how many of you feel like you've been drinking out of a fire hose? Just give me a yes, a no, an exclamation point. Anybody feel like we've been, I'm an intense guy. I am certainly not going to pretend otherwise. I am passionate about this. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I've been working with at least 5 with a niche. So you guys, let me ask you a question. If you did what I'm teaching you tonight, if you knew how to tell the difference between a real and an imposter business credit, and you knew how to make your business fundable, especially having the right business codes, and you knew how to optimize your personal profile so that business credit lenders know that they're lending to a viable owner and dropping that money in the business, do you think you could be successful? Yes or no? If you did what I'm teaching you, do you think you could be successful? So if that is true, yes, yeah, absolutely, all of you. So imagine $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. I personally have $2.4 million in business loans and lines of credit, you guys. Business loans and lines of credit straight to my business. Does not report on my personal profile, not one of them. What would 3 or 4 or 500,000 do for you? What would $1 million do for you? Because it's only based on how far you want to implement it. Every bank that you know of, especially the tier 1 and tier 2 banks, think of every bank you drive by while you're going through town. Every one of those are worth $100,000 to you. So do you want 3 banks, 4 banks, 5 banks, or more banks? So for those of you who are ready to level up, I'd like to introduce to you our Business Funding Master Course. This master course is designed to have you plug in to, we talked about 3 secrets. Do you realize there are over 500 myths and insider secrets with personal and business credit? 500. It's insane. We talked about 3. Did any of you learn something tonight already from the 3? How valuable would it be to have to have all of these secrets revealed to you and exactly what to do about it? What to do about it? All right. So take a look. The Business Funding Master Course helps you get all the money you need, helps you access that pool, that what I call that cheapest money out there. 100% business banks, top tier banks, the top 40 banks in this country. You can stop losing money or being unable to execute on deals, much less. I had one guy talk to me earlier this week. He's like, Merrill, I am spending He profited $2 million in his real estate business this last year. I asked him, how much were you paying in hard money fees? And he said, 200 grand. What could you do with 200 more grand that you don't have to pay out? What if it was 20 grand for this to use the same amount of money? Okay. So here's what you get in the business funding master course. First of all, there's the business funding system, and the business funding system helps you understand the 1,000-foot view of the things that we've been talking about, how to build with the relationship between your personal and your business profiles. Everything you need to know is a relationship with banks personally and with your business. It is not hard. It's actually pretty easy, but I didn't say anything magical tonight. I just told you a few things that you haven't understood or heard before. And doesn't it all make sense? Imagine structuring your personal profile, your business profile, and building relationships with banks in language. I always tease that I'll teach you how to speak a lender's love language, right? So take a look at this, because this is, I am going to make sure when I share, stop the share. I've got to share this with you guys. It is an amazing, there we are. All right. And down. All right. So this is Robert. I'll let you guys have your own experience with Robert. Whoop.
Since starting with
Whoa, hang on. There we go.
since starting with the program, my personal credit score has gone up over 150 points. One of the things that I was absolutely astonished by was how easy it was when I walked into the bank and just asked for a sizable line of credit, and it was the easiest application to fill out, and it was the least amount of hassle and interrogation. I provided absolutely no documentation, and I was able to 2 or 3 days later get, a confirmation that they had approved the lines of credit for both of them.
250s. 4 months later.
I could not believe it, Merrill. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there. The guy pops up on the computer as he's, entering the data, and he's like, "You qualify for a $20,000 line of credit card, a business credit card." I said, "Yeah, you know what? Let's do it." He said, "There's no credit pulls. There's no way." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." Then he goes a little bit further. They're saying that you qualify for up to $100,000 line of credit. Would you like to do that? Yes. Yes, I do. Next thing you know, $50,000 they approved. That's awesome. That day that they pulled the credit, they use Experian. My Experian credit score that day was 848. There it is. It was like perfect.
The point of this, you guys, is that in 4 months, he got $170,000 in business credit, one $20,000 credit card, and 3 $50,000 credit lines. That is where the magic comes in, when you know how to set up the relationship between your personal profile, your business profile, and build a relationship with the bank. Those are the 3 pillars of your funding capability. So this works for real estate investors, whether you have good credit. You don't even know what good credit or bad credit is. If you have derogatory accounts, I have clients who are fundable, who still have derogatory accounts, late pays, delinquencies, bankruptcies still on their profile, because it's not about your score. It's about the relationships you build and the structure you set up, your personal profile and your business profile, right? Now, I've had people come to me and be like, Merrill, this sounds awesome, but I haven't got time to do the course. And I'm like, here's the thing. You can't afford not to do this course because you're already stepping on funding landmines that are blowing up future opportunities of funding. You're future casting additional funding failures. We got to stop that. And so this business funding system is worth every penny of $39.94 all on its own. But guess what? I don't want you to just have the funding system. I want you to craft the perfect fundable entity. And these entity secrets are literally showing you, I will tell you exactly what business codes you need for the most fundable businesses. I help you show you how to set up your business and your checking account balances and what we call your organic traffic, the money flowing in, the numbers of transactions. It's so simple when you know what the lending criteria is and you match it. And people say, how much money do I need to do this? Money buys time. The more money you have, the shorter the funding time. Some people are funded within 60 to 90 days. Some, if you have bad credit or other things, depending on what you bring to me, it could be 12 months. It could be 24 months. I don't know. What I do know is that wherever you are, you don't have to stay there, right? And so the advanced entity secrets, of total value of $997. So you get your business funding system, you get the advanced entity secrets for $4,991. But here's the thing, you're also get if your approvals, your business approvals are based on your personal profile. I want to give you the means to create the perfect fundable personal profile. We call it the Fundability Fitness Program. And in there, we're going to identify all of your borrower behaviors. And we're going to find out the instrument that we use. It's called a fundability index. And we compare you today against underwriting criteria and see what you need to work on. Then we give you the step-by-step instructions on how to build the personal and business fundability models that match what you need to do, right? That index is crazy, crazy powerful. That Fundability Fitness Program is $3,994 and alone crazy valuable, right? So you get the business funding system and the advanced entity secrets that make that business funding system just rock and roll, but you also get the Fundability Fitness Program for almost $9,000 value. But you also get, I'm not going to leave you alone on the personal side. I want you to have the advanced financing secrets. The least someone has saved implementing the strategies that are in the advanced financing secrets is $3,000 when you buy a car at a dealership. $3,000 off the interest rate, because they know how to play the game and they're dunking on you guys. They're dunking on you because we don't know how to play this game. And I'm going to take that away. I'm going to show you how to get ahead of the payment slope. I'm going to show you how to minimize financial damage if you're going sideways as the economy begins to tighten up a bit. And I give you all the tools you need, the spreadsheets, calculations, and software you need to make all of this simple, easy, and effortless. All by itself, $997. So notice it comes in pairs: business funding system and the advanced entity secrets, the personal fundability fitness program, and the personal financing secrets. All of those $9,982, right? But this is the coup de grace. People ask me all the time, like, Merrill, is there a way to do this? I mean, I understand reading and studying all this stuff, but where does the rubber meet the road? That's what's in the Business Fundability Accelerator. I literally give you software to create your personal profile dynamics, and make your business profile, what we call a QFE, qualified fundable entity. We make your QFE bulletproof for funding. How to create that highly fundable entity, and how to pass underwriting by knowing what they're looking for before you even apply. Now, this tool takes away the fear and doubt when putting in applications. It gets rid of the anxiety while you're waiting for the lender's response, because you're not even going to file an application until you know that it's a yes. And of course, we remove all the uncertainty of approval. Your problems are solved, time and money is saved, right? That Business Fundability Accelerator, all the software, it's a software piece that will blow your mind. $9,173 value, right? So altogether, all of those is $19,155. But here, this is, I've been working on this to add to this for the last month. I call it the Financial Survival Bundle. And what it does, you guys, is we're going into some amazing times. And why do I call them amazing? I call it the slingshot effect. When you have a slingshot, you guys, what looks like a drawback period, it looks like it's negative, right? There's a drawback. It looks like we're going backwards, but what we're doing is we're creating dynamic tension. The physics of business, the physics of finances is no different than the physics of a moving object. If we create dynamic tension when we release, we're not going to go, if we pull it back 6 inches, we're not going to go 6 inches, we're going to go 60 feet. In this financial survival bundle, we go through all the slingshot effect. I'm going to show you how to protect your credit limits, how to build relationships with your lenders so that if something happens, it doesn't have the same negative impact that it would if you didn't have these conversations with your lenders. I'm going to show you that if it's tight, if there's something going sideways, here's the thing. Many of us, we may be prospering, but this is your secret weapon, the ace up your sleeve that, oh, where was that? I want to study that thing that Merrill gave me because this deal isn't going to happen as fast as I wanted to, and I need to prepare myself. This thing is going to blow your mind all by itself, worth every penny by itself. $2,788 value. Together, $21,943. Now I'm going to ask you, you can tell that I'm kind of no nonsense, right? Well, I'm going to get really no nonsense. If all this did was help you stop ruining your future funding chances, would it be worth $21,943? Now, before you answer that, how many of you, tell me honestly, and I want you to type it in there. How many of you, just yes, how many of you have lost more than $21,943 on stupid deals or not being prepared or missed the opportunity to make $21,943? Yes, and yes, you guys, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because I was not prepared. I didn't know what I know now. I'm telling you, I have compacted 30 years and compressed literally years into days so that you can stop ruining your funding chances, right? If all this did was show you the simple steps to get approved, is it worth $21,940? If you could get $200,000, if I gave you $200,000 and you gave me $21,943, would you do it? Come on. If I gave you $200,000, $100,000, would you do it? Of course we would. It's not rocket science, right? And so what would it be worth to you if you were able to get the money you need to grow the business the way you want to? Would it be worth 21 and change, right? So Normally it's $21,943. If you go right now to my website, this is $997. All right. But because you're part of BPM, and because I'm a fan of Anish and our long-term friendship, I'm giving that off for 50% off. And so the special price tonight for you guys is $498.50. But I'm not done. I have a money back guarantee that says if I do not deliver on my promise about giving you the tools, all of the tools, all of the knowledge, all of the borrower behaviors, the fundability index, if you just do that work, if you do that work and you're not fundable, I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. But you got to do the work. You don't get to sit on it for 29 days and go, take it back. Do something for yourself. Okay? But if you do it, I'm all in. I'm all in because I want you to succeed. And I want to take money completely out of this. All right. So the real question is it worth a few minutes of your time to check this out? And if it only does half of what I've talked about tonight, not brain surgery, you guys. So I asked my team, all right, guys, here's what it is. I'm loving, I'm proud of this. I'm thrilled. I tease that it's the collected works of Merrill Chandler. All right, one of you have read my book. It's like 100 times my book. Punch some holes in this, and without fail, the thing that kept coming up is some people are going to want support. Some people are going to want to be able to ask questions. I'm like, all right, let's solve that problem as well. So I am also giving you member-only access to me and my senior advisors 2 times a week, every week. Weekly, we call it Funding Hackers Live Q&A, where you get to ask questions about your implementation strategies. You get lifetime access to the private Facebook group where all the recordings of all these are. We have this monster library of Q&As, right? And you can come anytime to our Tuesday and Thursday meetings. If you can't make it to the meetings live, go to the Facebook group, type your question, and I will answer your question using your name, saying, guess what? Here's the answer to your question. I'm committed to you guys. Now, I'm one of the lucky ones that gets to charge $5,000 an hour for my time. So I got to tell you right now that the greatest gift, having 2 hours, because I'm at every one of them that I can be at, every one of them, to have me be able to be there live and answer your questions personally 2 hours a week is the greatest gift that I can give. And it's how I can serve you. It's how I can demonstrate my commitment to your success. So normally it's $1,743, and the subscription is $149 per month. But you guys, no upfronts, $29.99 a month, you guys. $29.99 to have 8 hours of custom coaching in this Funding Hacker Q&A group session. So that brings our total: business funding system, advanced entity secrets, personal fundability fitness program, advanced financing. I mean, holy hell, business funding accelerator, the financial survival bundle, worth the whole thing by itself. And members only access. Go to Get Fundable BPM and put in the promo code BPM51. And that's how you get. So I'm even going to make it easy for you. Take a look down to once you get down to the order summary, it's going to show you, oh, look, a $997 is actually going to be $498.50. You have a promo code? Yes. You put it in right there, hit apply, and you get that number. And that's how you complete your purchase. you guys. And while you're there right now, while you're there, just read the reviews. Some people call it the boot camp. Some people call it the master course. It's all the same. It's all the same course. I used to call this a boot camp. I'm telling you, just read the reviews. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of them there. Real estate investors just like you who have gone through this course and said, boom, mind blown. So that's it. That's me. Happy to take questions. Take a screenshot of this, everybody. And happy to take questions. That promo code is a limited time, so make sure that you take advantage of it ASAP. Let's get you started on this immediately. Woo! Okay, back to you, Anish.
Amazing. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, back to you. Sorry.
How are you? I'm here. I just thank you because I've obviously seen you speak before, but the reminder of what's going on the back end is very, very important.
It's crazy telling, isn't it?
They don't teach you this stuff in college, that's for sure. So definitely very much appreciate all of the knowledge. And I have a couple questions rolling in, guys. If you have your questions, now is the time to put them in the Q&A box in the Zoom menu. There's a menu. If you hover over Zoom, you'll see the Q&A box in there. So I see Justin is expressing here, a lender PNC denied his LLC for $50K. He would not advise why. I believe mentioned the company had defaulted loan. This is not correct, as a company has never had a loan in 20 years. How does he get fundable? Well, just this is how you get fundable. And
right. So first things first, part of the thing we need to do is you got to pull your business credit reports on the entity that because we call it a QFE, because it has to be a qualified fundable entity. It has to fit the mold that lenders like to lend to, right? We got to hit their underwriting criteria. So that entity, even if you don't have a loan, there's ways to dispute or correct that. And if you can't, we need to choose a different entity, because you got to go at the lenders. Sometimes it's easier to even just start over or do a shelf company or something like that. Start over with a new entity if you got mud and dirt and gore on one of your current companies. The issue is that if you can clean it up fast, let's keep your current company. If you can't, then we need to be fundable somewhere else. Great question.
awesome. And absolutely, I will be sending each and every one of you the link, www.getfundablebpm.com in my thank you email. Discount code for 50% off, BPM51. I'll be sure to send you guys all of that information in my thank you email as soon as we finish this webinar. So definitely look out for that from me. I see Alice is here circling back to the approval killing words. She says, if you cannot use any of those words, how do you describe your business?
So one of the things you're going to learn, great question. Part of the bit, remember I said in the business funding system, I wish I had my easel up here, right? So I could draw. So in the business funding system that we talk about in the course, there are three things. There is your personal profile. Think of a triangle, your personal profile, your business profile, and the lenders, and your what we call a banking profile. The relationship is between all three of these, and we need to sync them all up. So first of all, you can amend a name, but the idea is you want to present, we have a two-tier system. You can have a fundable entity, and then you can do real estate down here, what we call client companies. And I'm kind of jumping ahead. I'm doing you a disservice to try and explain this in 30 seconds. But the idea is you have what we call a a bank facing entity that may not necessarily be your real estate entity. And there are ways to set it up because we can make it highly fundable. Then you get money up here in your qualified fundable entity, and then you lend. You're not counting on the lenders to lend to your deals. You lend to your deals. All of that, every single jot and tittle is included in this system. So how to structure it. So and accountants love this. Tax strategists love this process because we have made it so easy to get money in one place and spend it in another in doing your deals.
All right, guys. So thank you for staying on, guys. We'll answer as many questions. If you guys are okay with staying on just a couple more minutes, we're going to answer some more questions. So thank you guys for staying on. So we have Richard here. What information would you include in your corporation docs if you're a real estate investor? That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
Not sure.
So kind of asked and answered, because you're not going, like I just said, you may get funding in a different entity than you're doing your deals. And
Right.
that is a simple, we have an inventory sheet. You might have 1, 2, 3, you might have none, but many of us have 2 or 3 entities. We help you qualify we walk you through how to choose the entity that is most fundable and how to set it up. Now, remember, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can come and ask your questions. All right, Meryl, this is what I'm doing. Is this the right way to do it? I will talk to you because now you got to get educated so you and I can talk the same lender love language. So the second you are fluent in the language of fundability, we're going to have a blast because it's so easy once you get to look behind the curtain and see what's really going on.
Right. Awesome. Okay. So a couple more questions here. Again, thank you guys for staying on. What can we say to those that might think that this course is too expensive? Because obviously we saw the breakdown and everything. So that pretty much shows us what's going on there. But
yeah, so let's put it this way. This isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
If $500 is more, if you cannot see that hundreds of thousands of dollars is literally waiting to be handed to you by putting yourself in the funding flow, then this may not be right for you, right? And it may not. If you see it, but for those people who see that there is that everything that I'm talking about makes sense and actually might be the first glimpse of truth you've heard when it comes to personal and business credit and funding, then it's a no-brainer. It's worth a credit card purchase. It's worth the investment to get in and begin to understand. Just start saving money on your next auto. Just start saving money on your next mortgage. You're going to make so much more money than $500. It's crazy. And if that's too much money, then Godspeed. I want you to make more money so you can keep all this information. And the second that you find the value in it, then pull the trigger.
Right. Perfect. Alrighty, finishing up here. If you already have one of the Capital One credit cards, what should you do? I know that's a lot.
Okay, first things first. If it's less than 6 months old, I would close it. If it's older and then get a true business credit card. And by the way, you can go and Sky, you can put that in there. You can go to getfundablecreditcards.com, getfundablecreditcards.com. And we've already pre-vetted personal and business credit cards. The business credit cards do not report to your personal profile. So I would replace it if it's less than 6 months old. You'll take a short-term score hit, but it'll rebound because it's a low value card. If it's more than 6 months old, then it's not worth the corresponding hit. And so what you need to do is just don't treat it like a business card, treat it like a personal card, keep low balances or no balances, pay it off to zero every month, and treat it like a personal card because it's a personal card. So do not put long-term business expenses on it because that's what's gonna kill you. Major landmine.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Meryl. Absolutely killed it. I'm putting the link information in the chat again, you guys. But like I said, I am sending each and every one of you a thank you email from tonight, with all of the goodies, the free ebook, everything. But I do have a winner for the raffle, a little drum roll. Our winner for the 1-year BPM RIA membership is D. Congratulations, D. Thank you so much. I know you're always in these webinars all the time. So thank you. I'm going to send you an email and let you know that you won, and give you your free membership. I'm so happy for you. But Meryl, I know that people still have more questions about the offer.
I'm happy to answer them if you're down.
Okay, let's see what these questions are really quickly, if you guys are cool with it. Okay, so if your business is currently registered on DNB, should you remove it?
No, just don't add the financial data on Dun & Bradstreet. We want to focus on your identity data and using the correct business codes and making sure that remember, they ping your data, your personal data as the owner on that business. So we need to make sure those are all synced up.
Right.
Do not remove it.
Oh,
Just don't add the financial data that they ask for. You're just giving yourself away.
thank you, Meryl. Alrighty, and here we have another one. Do you have to have an active LLC to start with your program?
No, in fact, it might be very advantageous to start from the beginning and build perfectly the perfect fundable entity. So you guys, it has been wonderful. Again, thank you so much, Alexa. Anish, it is always golden, man, to spend some time with you, and your crew is always delightful. So thank you so much for having us. And you guys, if you have any final questions of the offer or anything like that, we can put it in the, you can just reach out to info@getfundable.com. That's info@getfundable.com, and we'd love to interact with you and find out how we can serve you.
Oh, thank you so much, Meryl. For everyone who is catching the replay, we will be posting the replay on YouTube within 48 hours. And maybe I'm just gonna speed that up because we only have 3 days. This offer is active for 3 days, everyone. So I will make
Saturday night, I believe. Saturday night at midnight Eastern.
Perfect. That gives us just enough time to get you guys the replay, and everything you need. So thank you again, Meryl. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for your positive feedback. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome. Well,
Thank you guys.
have a great night, everyone. I'm gonna miss you guys. I'll see you guys on Zoom again next week. Meryl, sending my best wishes for you while you're in South Florida. Soak it all up. I love Tampa so much. So hopefully we get you down here. And so
I'd love to see you guys all in person. You guys have a wonderful night. Be well.
thank you. Good night, everybody.